let's start the way we finished last year and go at the passing game incrementally by adding passes. He averaged 28 attempts last year. I don't want to see him throwing the ball 40 times out of the game.
Exactly, and that's what. See, you bring, which brings you to the next one. I want to see him averaging 25 throws because that's a good balance. You know, the thing that a lot of people think that I'm always talking about run. No, keep the defense off guard. It's like, if I know you coming out to pass all the time, the hell with the run. I'm trying to stop you from getting big chunk plays because I know that once you get 1 or 2 incomplete passes and then you're forced to run, I can stop you because you haven't done anything.
All right, let's get to our friend here, Hollis Thomas, and training camp is 5 days away. And I'm going to start it out here with Hollis. I appreciate you coming aboard here, Hollis. Thank you so much, my friend. So, is Hollis ready? See if we can get him up here and bring him up here. There you go. Hollis, how you doing, brother?
Good. Hold on a second. Alexa, turn off music. Now, I did hear what you were saying, though. If you mind if I interject with what you're
please.
Saying? The one thing that I think that we're forgetting is they brought Dak. As much as I despise the Cowboys, they should have been winning playoff games. They should have brought a title home. It's the coaching. You can't bring a quarterback back off an injury and throw 40-plus times in a game where you're getting 3, 4, 5 yards a pop, but you want to throw the ball 40 or 50 times and you still lose. That doesn't bode well for your defense. And in order for them to get production out of the run game, you actually have to run the ball. They're playing them for the pass. You're not getting any run formations. You're not getting it. Have you seen 12s?
No.
Have you seen? I was like, have you? Put it this way. Name one of the tight ends that can actually block on the run.
That kid Schultz is terrible in the blocking game.
Exactly. So when you have a good running game, you have a couple of tight ends. One is made for pass catching, but there's also one who can catch and can block. But they haven't run the ball. You got Kellen Moore, and now they talk about head coach. What the hell for?
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's like, come on, dude. But I heard you talking about that.
No. Let me take that over to the Eagle size on you then, Hollis, here, because it's a great point. Go back with Chip a little bit even. Well, Chip wanted to run 80 plays, right? Well, shit, man. You're going to get a ton of 3 and outs, which is going to tire your defense out. Yep. You're going to put most of your guys on IR by the end of the year or mid part of the season.
Correct.
This year in 2022, do you think the formula for the offense should be, let's start the way we finished last year and go at the passing game incrementally by adding passes? He averaged 28 attempts last year. I don't want to see him throwing the ball 40 times out of the game.
Exactly, and that's what. See, you bring, which brings you to the next one. I want to see him averaging 25 throws because that's a good balance. You know, the thing that a lot of people think that I'm always talking about run. No, keep the defense off guard. It's like, if I know you coming out to pass all the time, the hell with the run. I'm trying to stop you from getting big chunk plays because I know that once you get 1 or 2 incomplete passes and then you're forced to run, I can stop you because you haven't done anything. And the play action fakes only work if you're running the ball. That's what I was going to tell you about the Ezekiel Elliott stuff. When you run a play action fake, everybody knows that Kellen Moore is not running the ball. He's not running the ball by any stretch of the means. You got Dak coming off the injury. The best way to get your offensive line quality confidence is to mash. When you mash and you mash and you mash, and the defense cannot do anything about it, it is demoralizing as a defender. And then you don't know if it's pass or run. So you're caught in what I call defensive limbo. Do I attack or no, I don't attack? When I attack, they throw me down. But when I don't attack, they pass it. So you have to mix it up. Have to have a good mixture.
Hollis, what about this then, starting the season out too? Because for me, if you're looking at the numbers that we saw with A.J. Brown in Tennessee, where he averaged 68 catches, 998 yards, and 8 touchdowns a season, are we expecting 1,400 more yards or a 1,400-yard season? Or are we expecting the same numbers? And I talked to Seth yesterday about this, and I want your take on it too. Do you think his impact's going to be on 3rd down and in the red zone? That's going to be his biggest impact, is going to be there. But if you're looking for a 1,400-yard season out of somebody who traditionally hasn't done it yet in 3 years, that's not who he is.
Well, no, I'm looking for him to make a quality contribution and add a flair of toughness to our receiving core. We have some 6'5" and 6'6" tight ends that will be able to that will create some problems down in the red zone. And if we're running the ball properly, we won't have to create those mismatches. And I love Devontae Smith in the red zone. His route running ability from the inside and the out. It's great. But it is true what you're saying though about the red zone. I think that he's one of those guys that's going to get the double coverage. Is going to put some other guys in particularly the running backs who can catch out of the backfield and the tight ends. It's going to put some pressure, more pressure on the defense than we've been able to do in the past.
Jump balls too. I mean, I'm going with AJ Brown jump balls.
Oh yeah, I'm going with AJ Brown. But also you got Dallas Goedert down there, and then the kid that's coming off a injury that was the quarterback. He's a bit of a beast. I'm looking to see what he does. He's on a pup list coming out because he had that injury. I'll tell you about that later. You play pro. You know when they try to keep you, it's like, oh,
sniper.
He went down in practice. Trainer.
Go down, Sileo.
Yeah, so it's like I'm interested to see what they do. I was privy to some practices as an alumni, and I like the crispness that was going on compared to when I went to the practices last time. It was really like last time it was like everybody was feeling their way around. Now you got a core of guys who know what they're doing, know what to expect, and they've been in the system for a year. I don't know if you were going towards this, but I think the person who's kind of on a hot seat is Keith Gannon. Is Keith Gannon or Jonathan Gannon?
Jonathan Gannon.
It's bad with Jonathan?
Jonathan Gannon.
Yeah, Jonathan. I want to call him Keith so bad because Keith is almost the ugliest name
Hollis,
of the
does it matter what his first name is right now? He's got approved.
Exactly. Yeah. He's got to give me the ribbons first name because I don't know if Seth told you, we were me and him were texting back and forth during the New York Jets game when we were playing against Zach Wilson, and we were just like showing him vanilla coverages like he was the second coming. And he torched us for 12 or 14 and 2 touchdown passes in the first half. And then we started getting to him in the one shot, but that's too late. If you let a veteran quarterback get that hot, you're done. That's like you do not give a kid a chance. You show him everything. You do what Tampa Bay did to us in the playoffs. You throw everything at his ass. We have a young quarterback, first time in the playoffs. Hit him with the kitchen sink. That's what you're supposed to do to Zach Wilson. I don't know if Jonathan's going to have the ability or as I say, the tactical fortitude to do what it takes to get this defense into a top 5 defense. Because I feel like you have the players and you have the tools around you. What are you going to do with them?
I just don't see the creativity in him lining these guys up. And Hollis, do you think this team is more set up for a 43 or 34 front?
I think this team is set up for whatever the opposing team has trouble with.
Okay.
Because when you have a defense, you have to have multiple.
So you saying they're versatile enough?
Yes, I feel like they got enough linebackers to run 4 linebackers out there, and they got the big guys on the interior to run like a three-man bear front up the middle and create some havoc. And it's like you do certain things like that to cause problems for the other team. But I feel like they're a 4-3 front though on the Farilla because you want that unless he does something stupid. I can just see him doing something stupid.
I don't trust him.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. I don't trust him as well.
I mean, here's you and me talking here. I wonder what the players are thinking when you're sitting here and you're going like this. And, and here, let me lead you into this. There's so many new faces, and you got a training wheel coach, and you got all these new faces. You got a training wheel head coach. And I mean by that is they're brand new at what they're doing going into their second year. And I saw no creativity last year. I'm just wondering, I mean, does it bother you, Hollis, that there's a lot of new faces on that side of defense? I mean, 2 new corners, 2 new linebackers. You're adding some depth in your defensive front. There's a lot of new faces on that side of the ball.
No, it's funny you mentioned that. The thing that kind of worries me. It not even worries me. It's just he's got everything that he needs now to run a defense run a pressurized defense. Pressure bust pipe. A lot of people don't like to hear the cliches, but pressure does bust pipes. If you give a guy all day to throw back there, he's gonna be a Pro Bowler, and he's gonna look like an all-time great. But if you make him make quick decisions and force him to put the ball into very, very, very small windows, I feel like we got the coverage on the back end. So what's your excuse now for not blitzing? What's your excuse now? It's like you have the guys to cover now. You have the guys covering the back end. You have the guys up. You got the big guys up front. You cannot get them into what happened last year. And I don't know if you remember this comment. I'm paid to make sacks. Do you remember that comment?
Yeah.
You know why he said that? Because the guy who's calling the defense is not doing anything else but telling us to get upfield, and we're in the same position and the same position. We're not doing anything exotic or anything like we were saying creative. We're not running any stunts. The times we ran stunts, we were killing. It was like we were killing from the word go. It's like if you want to do that vanilla stuff after we mesmerize people, cool. But don't have us like that the whole game, because I don't know if this is another comment that was made in the playoff game by the Tampa Bay offensive coordinator and Tom Brady. We know they're going to be they're not deterring away from anything they did in the first game. The fact that the opposing team knows that and they're not Bill Belichick.
Said it.
And just said it out loud so cameras can hear it. It lets me know that you need to get it going to your bag of tricks. So it's not even about tricks. It's like you have to come out there and put some pressure on people. You have to force the issue. Our defense is supposed to be organized chaos. We're supposed to force you to do whatever we want you to do. And right now we're letting everybody do what they want when they want.
Tell me something.
Go ahead.
Tell me something, Hollis. I mean, like I said, we had Seth on yesterday, and to me,
yeah.
I know that I hope that you feel like when I played for Jimmy Johnson and Jimmy's defenses in Dallas, it was all penetration, 3-gap, 1-gap technique, 3-1, getting up the field, getting in your gaps, getting after the quarterback, bringing some stunts, dictating the tempo of the
That's
game.
The word.
And I don't know. I feel that is going to happen I don't see this guy like, hey, we're going to dictate pace.
Right. Exactly. And it's funny you say that, because under Jimmy Johnson, I was under Jim Johnson. Jim Johnson's defense, it was attack style, but we also had some creativity to confuse the opposing offense. We had run stunts that if the pass shows, you keep going to the quarterback and put pressure in his face. You put pressure in his face or get him down and get him down quick. It's like you never put the secondary in the bind. We put the secondary in the bind so much because the linebacking core that we were presenting was less than stellar. I was like, but the way that you get the guys' confidence is have them thinking less. It seems like he has way too much thinking to do to be in this defense. If you got see ball, go hit ball. I mean, it's not that complicated. Yeah, it's his. I still think his style was just too soft, and that's the best. That's the best. We're ranked number 10, and we probably ranked number 10 due to the personnel we had. We had some guys who were playing with their hair on fire, and some other guys who were carrying some other guys. And we had some timely interceptions and some. We didn't our turnovers. We need to get more turnovers as well. I didn't see that many turnovers, and he didn't put our guys in position to win. If you stand 10 yards off the ball and it's 3rd and 5, what the hell you think they're gonna do?
Yeah, but like you said, Hollis, you're not gonna be sitting here trying to recreate the wheel here, because, like Tom Brady and Byron Leftwich said, we knew what they were gonna do.
Yeah,
from the get-go.
And this is nobody cares if you steal something from anybody else. I've learned a long time ago this is a copycat league. You see what gives them problems and you do it. If you can do it, cool. If you can't do what you do best, but you never let a quarterback stand back there like he playing 7-on-7. And we did that too many times. And I know the guys up front was getting sick and tired of standing still. And it's pretty much the offensive line. If you know where he's gonna be at, he's not doing the stunt inside. And that's, now that I say that, that's probably what had a lot of offensive lines flustered, because they didn't know if we was going to attack them, or if we was going to slant inside, or we was going to slant outside, or what we had in store for them. I was like, and I don't see that type of creativeness right now with Jonathan Gannon. And
let me ask you about TJ Edwards here. I think you probably have to love this guy, because
that's my kid. That's my guy.
Watch this here. And I said this to everybody yesterday. I go like this. I go, man, everyone is and you must have been a part of this a million times in your career. They bring the new shiny toy in. They're trying to replace Hollis. They got all this guy here. And all of a sudden, here's this guy, Edwards. And I'm telling you something, what he did last year. Here was the only linebacker that filled the gap. Here's the only linebacker that ran to the ball, kind of galvanized that group. And to me, I'll tell you what, I don't know if Nakobe Dean beats that guy out this year, man. Because don't you think that fires him up a little bit?
I know. Well, I know it fires him up. The pack. To put it this way, our linebacker core is going to be formidable. I know Nakobe Dean can play all three positions. See, so if Nakobe Dean is making plays, he's going to force them to put him on the field. But if T.J. Edwards saying it's not my spot that he's going to be in. It's like T.J. Edwards play. I love T.J. at the middle because I loved him even in college at the University of Wisconsin. I seen him coming out. He wasn't that fast, but he was smart as hell. And I've seen how he's how later, if you notice later in the season, how the thing that were catching him early in the season was not catching him later on in the season. So he's starting to learn the system. And I want to see him in the second year of the system. But Nakobe Dean is a playmaker. And what you want on the field is playmakers. If they don't have him on the field, then we got the right playmakers out there. But if he gets on the field, it's going to be because he's earned it. Because we got the kid out of LA from the LA Chargers as well, and then he's a beast as well. So
White.
White. Is it Kaiser White?
Yeah, Kaiser White.
Yeah, I love the way he plays. He's a tackling machine. I think we got a lot. That's what I'm saying. Our linebacker, I know the defensive backs are happy as well because when you banging somebody to the inside and they catch like a little inside route, and then you don't have no linebacker there to either turn them back to you or stop them, and we get off the field, you chasing them like Tom chased Jerry, and it's a first down, and we got 3 more downs on the field. Because I actually talked to a couple of the nickelbacks. I was like, I know you're happy they got some linebackers they can actually cover to know what the hell they're doing. Because the Nathan Gary and I love Alex Singleton, but come on.
Hey, Hollis, what do you think the role Milton Williams will have on this football team?
Milton, he's going to be that he's going to play both defensive end and defensive tackle.
So he's going to be a swing D lineman, you think?
I think when you and I know if you down there with Jerry Jones in Dallas, you know that you run defensive lines in waves. So you get people that can actually play and can start with some consistency in waves. So at the end of the game, you want your quarter horses in there. You want the one that's going to bring you home. You want the starters in there at the end, but you got to make sure you get them the timely rest throughout the game. Not no bunch of plays, but he's going to be one of the guys that gets about 20 to 25 plays, whereas as a starter is going to get 45, 50, 60 sometimes, depending on the position. But he's going to get one of those guys get 25, 30 plays. It's going to start out low, as like from 15 to 20, to see how he handles it. Because it's his second year. You don't know if he's going to have the sophomore jinx. But it's like you start giving him 15 to 20 plays, see how he handles that, and then he's going to be splitting reps. And it kind of depends on the opponent too, and and who he got up.
Let me take you over to the other side, the offense, for a couple questions here also.
Okay.
Who do you think benefits the most this coming season having A.J. Brown outside of Jalen Hurts in the huddle, Devontae Smith or Dallas Goedert?
Dallas Goedert.
Why?
Because all that speed on both edges, they're not going to be able to cover those sail routes and stuff. They're going to be wide open. If you telling me you're going to lead the outside guy one-on-one with those two guys?
No. So we're looking at a big season for Goddard, then, you think?
I'm looking at a big season for Goddard, but what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a big season from all the guys, all the pass catchers. And I'm not talking about no record-setting season, but I'm looking for them to make a tremendous stride from what they did last year. I'm looking for Dallas Goedert not to miss some of the passes like he missed last year. I'm looking for Devontae Smith to get on top of people more and to use his route running abilities to put people in the mix. And I'm looking for A.J. Brown to do what the hell he's been doing. But I'm also looking if Booby Miles Sanders, if he puts his thing cap on and gets to running downfield, all this stuff will culminate, and we'll have an offensive juggernaut here. But we have to get him running downhill. He can't try to hit the home run every time, because if you try to hit the home run every time, you're running sideways. And as a defensive lineman knows, what do we want him doing? Want him running east and west, so we can give him our best.
Absolutely. Hey, Hollis, one of the things that I just think that they have to improve mightily is their screen game. I mean,
yes, thank you.
Their screen game is like Tom Brady. Here's Tom Brady's career. Watch this. Dink and dunk, dink and dunk, dink and dunk. Slot, one time over the top. Tight end, dink and dunk, dink and dunk. Tight end, throw it. I mean, he made a career of doing that.
Yeah.
And yet we don't have that in our arsenal. That's
but you know what?
Think?
The screen game is going to come. I think it's going to come because it's probably going to be more with one of the new guys.
Is that coaching?
You got to have the. I think it's more of the personnel too. Sometimes.
Okay. Do you think it's
so? Yeah. Well, not Jalen. I think it's more the back. Sometimes
the backs.
The back is making it conspicuous because you stand up like this all of a sudden as a defensive lineman. As soon as I see you do this, I know all you're gonna do is try to throw me down and turn around and catch the ball. But it's like it's the different guys. Like Boston Scott is good at it. It's like because you have to. It's all in everybody. But then to the offensive line. When I say personnel, the offensive line has got to get better at at selling it. Like because I can look at it all the time and tell, well, I'm a jerk because I hated screenplays, and you was not throwing the screenplay on me. If you throw me, all of a sudden you invite me upfield.
Yeah.
I'm not coming to dinner.
Watch this, Hollis. As soon as the guy lets you and opens up a hole, here's the thing you do. You're looking left or you're looking right because you're either thinking this. There's going to be a trap play coming or there's a screenplay coming.
Yep.
Or you're out in the perimeter.
Or the ever so prominent was the offensive guard and the center. They throw their hand out and make you stay in your gap.
They try to influence you.
No, they're not trying to influence you. You know that's a wham play coming where the fullback is coming back because they're like you be like, hey, what's all this? They want you to. You know who got pissed at me? We was playing against the Buccaneers, and they kept trying to run. Was Alex? Who's the tight? I think it's Alex Smith, the tight end.
Yes.
So he was getting pissed. He's like, why won't you run? That was when I was playing with the Saints. Why won't you run the field? I was like, every time y'all run, two tight ends to one side and a third tight end in motion, I know the wham's coming. Tell them to switch the formation. He's like, why won't you run the field? They keep running this play. He's like, this was the argument on the field. Why won't you run that field? They keep running this play. I told him, you know what it is? I was like, yeah, I do know what it is. I'm not gonna. What am I supposed to let you make a highlight reel on me? No.
hey, Hollis, you bring a great point up too and I brought this up yesterday with Seth on pass protection. Now, listen, they had the #1 rushing attack last year, but you know what? In the second half of the season, they weren't really asked to pass protect. How do I know? And this offense was 27th in the passing game. I mean, they're going to be asked to do a different skill set this year than what they were doing last year in the sense of this. They ran the ball 35 times in the second half per game. They threw the ball 25 times, okay? If you're going to try to improve your passing attempts and your passing game, attempts have to go up because you've got A.J. Brown now and you've got Devontae, you've got Dallas Goedert. So you're trying to improve that. My question is this. Are you comfortable with these guys being versatile enough to be able to be pass protecting on a mobile quarterback? Do you think on what you saw a couple years ago with Carson Wentz, they gave up sacks? Now, he held on to the ball. He was a knucklehead, hero ball. I get all that.
Yeah, but
they haven't been asked to pass protect like that in the last year.
But when you look at the way that they were doing things as far as the pass attack comes off the play action and it comes off some other stuff too. But I feel like Jalen gets rid of the ball a little bit better than Carson. He's more decisive in his decisions, and the part where we'll have confidence in him is once you get the running the ball. The reason why the run is so important is for the pass, because when you run a play action, you want us to believe that it's play action. You want us to think it's a run. Right? You want us to believe that. I think the strides will be made with guys catching the ball. The guys that you mentioned, with them catching the ball, not just sometime or not just everybody's like, oh, the ball's up. He missed it. And what hit him in his hands. Well, so I think but it's still the running the ball like you were saying, and like that means we're kicking somebody's ass.
Yeah, yes.
And when you run the ball, when there's no incomplete passes, and you're steady getting first downs, the clock keeps on going. Your defense gets stronger. So when you do put them out there, they go out there and slam the door on the sucker. So the next formation that you line up in is the victory formation, the best formation known to man. It's the
Hollis,
best
how many times
today.
have you sat on the bench? How many times have you sat on the bench, man? The team's running the ball for 200 yards on you. Your D-line coach, your D coordinator comes over, and you're like this. I don't know. See, when the guy's throwing it for 300 yards, you're in the game. But when somebody's – I say this, when somebody's running the ball for 200 yards in an NFL game on you, it's like having one hand tied behind your back, and you're surrendering. You can't do anything about it.
I tell you the word – you talk about on me as the – I think the worst rush attack – worst time we planned to run was against Terrell Davis during that 2 years when they was back-to-back champions.
Alex Kidd, that zone blocking.
Yeah, no, that was some cheating shit. Yes, it was cheating shit. Yes. If you're gonna protect the quarterbacks, protect all of us. Don't. It's like if I'm running to the sideline and some fuck stick back here goes and chops my legs from under me. That's not football. You know what I'm talking about? They injured a bunch of guys, and so but I commend them
because he's from the McKittrick tree, and they used to do the leg whip and all that stupid shit.
I know.
And if you're standing near a pile, they'll kind of try to teacup you. They do all that shit.
I know. That's why a lot of the guys got hip tossed by me because I would see him coming out the corner of my eyes like, yeah, okay. But he got chased up the tunnel by my boy Howie Long. Howie Long was that because I know I played with Chris, and so I actually Howie Long was like one of my favorite D linemen. It was me, Joe Green, Bruce Smith, and Howie Long. Howie Long became my ultimate favorite though when he chased Alex Gibbs up that tunnel after that Raiders played against was it the 49ers?
No, it was McKittrick he chased because McKittrick did the leg whip on him, and because Randy Cross used to do that to me, and Randy's my boy, man. Those guys, 49ers, then they took it over to Denver, like you said. Dude, I mean, they constantly tried leg whipping you.
Yeah, and it's the funniest crap though is like you said, when that's happening to you, everything they're doing is working. And all you can do is like you can look at the coach, he knows when we're licked too, because he looks at the sheets and is like, oh well. Throw the sheet down. It's like try to get your hand on somebody.
hey, Hollis, do you agree that this year I started the show out today by saying this? I don't care about the division title. I don't care about the Packer game. I don't care about Minnesota. This team's got to beat Dallas. They got to beat Dallas to know where they are.
Yeah, it's like that's right. Right now, this is actually, to me, this is a defining. This season is I feel like it's Jalen's defining moment. They've given him all the weapons he needs. It's kind of like, but it's also Jonathan Gannon's defining moment too. They've given Jalen all of the. Sorry about this, my beard comb. They've given Jalen all the weapons he needs offensively with a quality offensive line. All you have to do is make the proper decisions and score. They've given Jonathan Gannon everything you need, everything you need defensively. It's up to you to come up with some creativity and whoop some ass. If you can't do that, then we have to move on from those two guys. And that's the way I'm looking at it. I'm expecting 2 more wins, at least one versus those yahoos, the Cowgirls, because I hate them with a passion, because there's a sense of entitlement. The Jacksonville Jaguars have more playoff wins than you since 1996. Shut up.
Hey, dude, I'll tell you why I love you, man, because you know what? You're like Tom Brady. You played with a lumberyard on your shoulder, man. You weren't drafted, and it had to piss you off because you played 12-plus years, and you're going like this. Wait a minute. And I want everyone to know this. Guys don't play 12-plus years that weren't drafted. Okay? He's less than 1% of the 1%ers that go on and do what you did. You understand that, right? I know you know that.
Well, I know when people bring it up. It's like, but I loved football, and I wasn't going to
Hollis, I played 3 years and was the 56th player taken. You were undrafted and played 12-plus years on 15. Some dynamic football teams. I have the greatest respect.
And I tried to steal. Thanks. I tried to steal the last 2 years. You know how you steal those last 2 years where you're just a locker room guy? And I don't know if I ever told you. I haven't told this story before. So I was down with the Carolina Panthers, trying to steal that one of those fatal last years. And so I didn't know the defense. So it just brought me in. So we go out for a walkthrough. And so we have to walk through. They're like, first defense out there. So I was standing next to Brian Baker. You know who Brian Baker is? He's a coach. He was a D-line coach. He's standing next to him. He said, what the hell are you doing? I was like, I don't know the defense. He said, you know how to play nose guard, don't you? I was like, yeah, get on out there. They'll tell you the rest. I was like, oh, shit. Well, I ended up starting there. It was a great time, though. It was a fun time. But I didn't get to steal those 2 years. Like, I saw a couple of guys at the end of their career, they were still like 2 years. They were just a locker room guy. And like, if you needed a backup, I was like, oh man, on my tail of the mountain, I'm gonna get that. Not you, not me. 60. They even made up a nickel defense, so I had to stay on nickel too. It was called Big Nickel. I was like, are you kidding me? Because we were playing against the Patriots, and they saw when I wasn't in the game, they started running the ball. So they would do this mini nickel, and then do this. That was me, Big Nickel. So they just left me a nose guard and brought three. Yeah, they brought three defensive ends and be in. And I was like, man, you know. After playing first and second down and give you a hard out on first and second down, you know, you want to relish in the thought of going to the sideline and watching everybody else scramble for sacks.
Last two questions for you. Fletcher Cox's career, what do you think it was in Philly? And by the way, probably his last season in Philadelphia, 14-4 year. They're probably going to move on, obviously, after Jordan Davis. Right. What do you think what his time was in Philadelphia?
I think he had a tremendous career, dude. He helped bring a title here. I was like, that was like one of my main goals. He anchored the team to help bring a title here, and he performed great in and out. But I think at times I have to look, and I know he probably looks at it the same way. He went through a couple of coaching regimes, and he got the good coaches and he got the bad coaches and he got the crummy coaches. And I think at this point in his career, I think he's kind of tired because watching him play last year, and I think he's tired and a little bit bored because watching him play last year, you get so tired of doing. You just left. Both coaches had no creativity in what they do with you. As like to stand there and take on double teams all the time, that shit is for the birds. Move me around. Let them wonder what I'm doing. If you'd like the key focus of a defense, because I know he's on everybody on their offense, they make it count for him. They make sure that they double team him. Now, there was some times that he didn't get double teamed and stuff. And it's just like one of those things where it's like, move me around, make me interested. You have to get guys like that attention. But I think he's going to be he's one of the all-time greats here. So
how about this,
no doubt about it.
I think he's going to roll into the kind of role that Ndamukong Suh did. To me, if I'm the Eagles this year, okay, and say that Jordan Davis starts playing well, I mean, I don't mind being Ndamukong Suh. $10 million in Los Angeles, another $15 million in Miami.
But that's what I think he's going to do. He's going to get with somebody that's winning and get into a rotation. Yeah, it's like get into a rotation and still contribute. I think that's what he's going to do after this, unless he just wants to leave and leave it just being a defensive tackle to play for one team his entire career. I mean, you get out there. Yeah, but I do know the one thing that I always tell the guys is that you don't walk away if you still can play, because you're gonna be kicking yourself in the ass about 3 years later. After you walk away and you're not doing anything, and you just chilling, and you don't have nothing to do, it's like you start looking for stuff to do. Now you want to get back in shape and come back, but it's too late now because
was it your time to go? Did you know?
It was my time to go. I went and worked out for Pete Carroll when he first came back. And I say worked out, but I was like, I'm thinking to myself, dude, you know what I can do? I say if I have to run 1,000 yards, like because it's like the 10 half gas or 10 110s, if I have to run 1,000 yards in the game, we fucked. It's like, but he put me through a gauntlet of those dynamic stretches and warm up, and it was like, okay, that was the warm up. I was like, you know what? Get my ticket back to. I was living in Houston at that time. Get my back ticket to Houston and give me my per diem. I was like, because I'm done. Because I'm going to lay by my pool. It was done.
Hey, so you looked at the mirror and just went,
No,
Okay,
but
Big Daddy. It's time for Big Daddy to move on here.
Exactly, but it was a dynamic warm up, and then it was two guys on the team, Raheem Brock and Brandon Stokely, who was a little longer than two. And I was like, does he take care of veterans? They was like, no. I was like, well, I've seen all I need to see.
Hey, Hollis, I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a story about Kevin Fagan, how he stole money at the end with the Niners. He goes like this, man. He goes, we got to do this thing for Carmen policy here. So he worked himself up, man, got himself in shape, ran a 4.8, was this and that. By the time training camp came, he went like this. He had just signed a contract going into camp. He gets hurt, doesn't play. He goes like this. Sills, I stole $1.8 million. Hollis, thank you, brother, man. You're always awesome, man. It's special.
Appreciate you.
It's always great, man. Thank you so much for coming aboard, man. We'll catch up down the road again. Thank you, my friend.
Hey, where you located at? Because I'm I travel with Philly Sports Trip. So if I'm in a city near you,
come on out. If you're out in LA.
Oh, okay. I gotta see if we got it. I know we got a trip to Arizona this year.
Okay, well, dude, let me know because my daughter goes to school at Arizona. She goes to school at Arizona. Okay. We'll hook up. We'll go to lunch.
Yeah, because actually Seth will be down there for that game for the Eagles play at Arizona.
I'm there.
Let me know.
Hey, Hooters on Big Sills.
Hell yeah, honey barbecue wings, dog.
You got it, Hollis. Thank you, my friend.